everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a lovely day. So this is actually the first sit down video that I'm doing in the new house, which is crazy because I had so many plans to do lots and lots more videos this month, but you guys all know the deal at the moment with how life is, with the kids being off school. They actually just went back yesterday as I'm filming this video. And also just when you move into a house in general, there's so much to do without even decorating or renovating, just unpacking and getting used to it and getting the family used to it. It's been obviously a big upheaval and a big change for us all, but we're feeling really settled now, really happy here. And now that the boys are back at school, I feel like I can finally sit down and pay you guys some attention instead of them and really get into my house content and all of the things that I've wanted to film for a while. A while back, before we even announced we were moving last year, I did a video of my top 5 best and worst purchases for that house, and you guys seem to really enjoy that, so I wanted to do something along those lines now. This one, I still haven't worked out what I'm going to name this, guys, so you'll know before I even know right now because it'll be in the title, but this is kind of like the 5 best things we did with that house and that we would do again, and 5 things that we found were actually mistakes and we wouldn't do in our new house. So I thought that would be quite helpful for anyone that is looking to move at the moment or is in the process of moving, or just for the future. Like, it's always good to learn from people's mistakes. I always ask my friends what they would and wouldn't do again, and I think it's a really good way to learn because you just never know until you've done it. I'm going to get straight into it with the 5 things that I wouldn't do again in this house when we renovate it and decorate it. So the first thing I would do differently is I wouldn't have as much grey. I feel like I'm going to get hate for this. It's not that I dislike people that like that style and aesthetic. I'm the kind of person that thinks you should have your home however you want it, however it makes you feel happy and comfortable and cozy and content. So this is not like shade on anybody that has a very grey home. It was just never my plan even to start with. I just think I must have got quite overwhelmed by the decisions of what colour the walls would be and the carpets would be and then the furniture would be. And take our bedroom in our old house, it's a great example. It all ended up being grey, and I used to try and take pictures in that bedroom and I couldn't because it looked like I was taking a black and white photo. It looked like I'd taken all the saturation out of the photo and I hadn't. So in that room we ended up having Farrow and Ball Ammonite on the back wall, which is a gorgeous grey. I love grey still, and I would definitely use it again if we were using grey in any of the rooms. But we also had a silvery grey carpet, which I'm going to come back round to in a sec. So we had a grey carpet and a grey wall, and then we had sort of an off-white wall on the rest of it. So I didn't initially plan to do grey walls and grey carpet because obviously that would have been a bit much. And then we had our white upholstered bed head. Is that the right word? Bed head. Bed head against the grey wall, which actually looked really nice. And then if you were watching from the start, you may know I had so many problems trying to get side tables. They were actually more like chests of drawers because they were quite tall and big because the room was very long, in a colour that I liked. So I ended up getting these ones from the range, which are lovely. We still have them now. Very useful because of the size, but they're kind of like a whitish grey, so again they just blended. Then we had like a grey throw and grey cushions, and you get what I'm saying. It all just ended up very grey, and I would definitely in this house want to add a few more different colours. I still love neutrals, but I think there's a place for adding different colours and textures for warmth. Different colour wood tones really help as well to break things up. So that's one thing that I would definitely do differently. Now, I just briefly touched on this, but the carpets, I honestly feel like those carpets were the biggest fail of that house. I feel like we got quite badly advised because there was a certain type of carpet that I really wanted, which was like a Berber type of carpet. I'll try and put a picture here in case you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's not, it's got like a texture to it, and it's just much more hard wearing. Whenever I've stayed in a really nice cottage or hotel room, it always has this kind of carpet because it's hard wearing and it lasts through loads of people walking across it. And we got totally advised against that with pets because they have like a loop in the pile, so they say that their claws will pull it up, which again, I've never had that carpet, so maybe one day I'll have it and think actually they were right, it's not the right kind of carpet. But we got this very soft silvery grey carpet, and within a few months it just looked terrible. We got the same one on our stairs because it was ordered incorrectly and it wasn't a stair carpet whatsoever, so that looked really bad by the time we moved out, and we definitely needed something a lot more hard wearing on the stairs. And then in the bedrooms, because we wanted, you know, that soft cozy carpet feeling, which again is perfectly fine, but I think maybe for us personally as a family of 4 with young kids and pets, it just wasn't very forgiving. You could see every mark, every stain. So I would definitely go for a carpet which has a bit of a texture to it. And I would still go for a light colour because that's what I like in interiors. So probably the wrong move again. But if it's got a few different flecks of colour in it, it is so much more forgiving than that just one colour all the way through. So that's my plan this time. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there'll be some for, some against. But I've had the other type and that's a no from me. So this is what I'm gonna go for this time. Oh, I've got another controversial one for you. So I don't know if this time I would pick an expensive paint brand colour, so for example Farrow & Ball, and do what we did before, which is then go and get that mixed up by a cheaper brand. This is because I didn't realise this at the time, but they're never an exact match, or you're very lucky if you do get an exact match anyway. They're just kind of as close to them as they can get. And in my experience, that isn't very close. We had the colour all white all over our house, and it actually turned out to be much more of a creamy, getting close to magnolia colour than it should have been. But I didn't realise this at the time. It's just, it was like a naive new homeowner type of thing, that it wouldn't be the exact match. So I know that this time. And then we had a colour painted on our panelling downstairs. That wasn't an exact match for the colour we wanted. Also Archie's bedroom had a built-in bed that wasn't the right colour either. They were all colours I liked and we decided to go with them. But I just feel like if there's an exact colour that I want to go for, so for example, say it is Farrow & Ball, then I would just bite the bullet and use that exact shade, and then I know what I'm getting. But on the other hand, I feel like for a while, having expensive paint was the thing, you know, like, oh, it has to be Farrow & Ball, and I may have got sucked into that a little bit, whereas I just think if you find a colour that you love, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, Homebase's own, Dulux, Farrow & Ball, Crown, it could be so many. And I've also discovered an amazing paint brand called Lick, which I'm definitely going to have a look at as well. So I'd look around a lot more this time for different colours from different brands and really not worry about which brand it's from. Because once it's on the wall, it really doesn't matter as long as you like it. Something else I would definitely consider this time is not having as many tiles. We had a bit of an unusual layout, as you probably know if you watched my previous renovation videos. We had like a porch which had tiles, and then it went all the way into a room which we used as a hallway, but really it was an actual room, and we tiled all of that as well. And it ended up making that whole through space feel quite cold. So I love tiles. I think there is a time and a place for them. I think they are great in porches, kitchens and bathrooms, of course, if you want to go for a tile. Personally for me now, I definitely would want to go more for wooden floors downstairs. Sorry, my camera just ran out of memory, so I just had to delete a few things, and then Elliot brought me in this flower. It's in the garden plan with his dad. How cute is that? Spring. It's nearly spring, guys. We're getting there. So this time I think wooden floors would be the perfect middle ground. If we did decide to go for tiles, say in the kitchen, I would want to have underfloor heating. That's a big luxury I don't know if we're going to be able to have, but I feel like if we couldn't, then I would go with wooden floor. And I think tiles can be quite impractical with kids. It may have just been us not being very careful, although I'm sure, I feel like we were, but we did have some cracked tiles in our old house. So yeah, for me, I've kind of got over my tile thing. Obviously I think they look great in a bathroom, but I can't imagine in this house downstairs us having them, but who knows, I might change my mind. So a couple more things, this might go over 5, but I'll try and do them really quickly. So when we had our bathroom done in the house before, that was the room we really renovated. We like knocked walls down, we, you know, redid the whole thing. I wanted it to have that quite Victorian vibe, so we went for these taps, which actually I discovered were quite a pain in the butt. It may have just, again, been this type. You may have them and find them amazing, but they were very hard for the kids to use, which sometimes is a blessing in disguise because they can't come and turn the taps on and like leave the water running. So that's quite good, but also as they get older, sort of Archie's age where he's 6, you know, it got really difficult for him and he wanted to go to the loo and wash his hands on his own, and he'd have to keep calling us to turn the tap on and stuff. So it just wasn't, they weren't that practical and they dripped a lot. So I wouldn't choose these, even though aesthetically I liked them. The taps we have in our bathrooms now are much more modern, and even though way down the line we might change the bathrooms, they work really well, very easy for the boys to use, don't drip. So yeah, I've definitely changed my preferences on the taps and things like that. So onto the things that I would do exactly the same, or, you know, at least take that element from our previous house because it was something that I thought worked really well. So the first thing is open shelving in the kitchen. I don't know what our kitchen design is going to be exactly yet, but if we have an area where we can have open shelving with like bowls and like ceramics and just nice things on it like we had before, plants, the watering can, I would definitely do that again because it just adds so much character to a kitchen. We never actually used the bowls and things that were on there. It was all decorative, apart from we did use the little watering can for our plants, and it was just really nice, so it always looked nice. I know lots of people have them and they actually use them, they put all their bowls and cups and glasses and things on, which I think is great as well. I'm just not sure if we're the family that could keep that looking nice, so mine would probably be more aesthetic, but I love open shelving in a kitchen and I think it looks so good. The next one, which was a little bit controversial when we got it, I know some people don't like it and that's fair enough, and that is artificial grass. Now I'm saying this, but I don't actually know if we will get it here because the garden is very different to our previous garden. And again, it will be something that's quite far down the line because we really would like to focus on decorating the house and having the kitchen extension and then worrying about the garden. But I loved the artificial grass because I have 2 boys and they bring in a lot of mud, especially when they want to play football and stuff. And we also have 2 dogs. And something that I'm already noticing is where we let them sleep upstairs now, where they never did when they were younger. They'll go out to the toilet last thing at night and then they'll come up and then they'll have mud on their paws on the bed. So maybe I need to clean their feet a bit better and maybe that will solve that issue. You don't need to get artificial grass just because you've got dogs, but honestly, there were so many, like if I'm being serious now, there are so many reasons why we loved it. One amazing reason was in the summer when the boys had the paddling pool out every day and then we would tip it out every night. Sorry, I've got my daffodil. When we would get tip it out every night, we didn't create a mud bath. We're kind of dreading that this year. You miss it so much when you don't have it. So our grass that we have in our new garden is sort of cut around flower beds, and it's not actually as much grass as it looks because a lot of it's kind of cut out and there's a path and different things. So we might consider it. We might consider doing it one day because it's fantastic. And there are different recyclable versions. I know a lot of people were concerned about the environment and that side of it. So it's definitely worth doing your own research and if it works for you as a family. But we would get so much use out of and it would be so practical for our family. So I would definitely consider getting artificial grass again. Don't hate me. Something we had in our previous house were electric toothbrush holders that mounted into the wall, so they always worked. Now obviously this isn't necessary, you can just plug your electronic toothbrush charger in and charge your toothbrush, but it was so nice to always have that there so your toothbrush was always charged. And I noticed honestly such a difference in my teeth for the 2.5 years we lived there, because sometimes previously when it would run out I would leave it for a while and just manually brush my teeth. I don't mean leave my teeth, but I would just be like, oh, it's run out, I'll just brush my teeth manually. And my teeth were amazing when I used an electric toothbrush morning and night without fail. So here we don't have them, we are just charging them and we are trying to be really good about it, but it was just such a nice thing to have in the bathroom. Like if you're having your bathroom redone, it might be worth having a look into having a couple of those fitted when you're having your sockets done, for example. And we also had a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker built into the bathroom ceiling. Now the bathroom was a bit of a weird place to do it, but it was just because we were having it all redone at the time, we just thought we'd put it in there. And it was really fun actually. We used to put it on when we were in the shower or when the boys were in the bath, we'd have little dance parties. But I think if we were gonna get another Bluetooth like built-in speaker, I would not put it in the bathroom and put it in the kitchen, because it's just seems much more sensible. If you can afford them, put them all through the house, but yeah, I would probably have one, but I'd put it in the kitchen this time. Something I was so pleased we did last time and really made a difference and just wouldn't be without this time is tough wipeable paint. So I know I just said our paint options weren't the best, but in terms of the finish, it really was good. So we always went for like the durable matte paint or whatever. If you like a more high shine finish, that's fine. You can get wipeable versions in that as well. But with young kids, having wipeable walls is definitely a must. So next, this might sound small and insignificant, but I actually loved having this, and that is an alcove in the shower. So when we were having our bathroom done, we asked to have a little cutout or two actually in the shower, so that we could put all of our products in there, because otherwise they would have ended up on the floor, or we would have had to get something that kind of like a plastic thing that goes on there. Well, I think you fit them onto your shower, but we had a ceiling like rain shower, so that wouldn't have worked. Anyway, it was great, it served its purpose, and I'm a bit sad that we don't have one in this house. So we have alcoves above the bath, which is really good, but there's not one in the shower, so again, we just have to put our stuff on the floor. It's fine for now, but that would definitely be something I would change if we were ever going to do the bathroom. And then also a really good tip, I'm not sure if we're going to need it in this house, I can't think right now, but if you have a small space where you need to fit a door, a bifolding door is a perfect solution. And I don't mean the kind of huge big glass ones that you have in a big kitchen extension. This one we just had on our bathroom door, so it just folds up. I don't know if it is called a bifold door, if it's like a concertina door, but you get what I mean, it just folds across. And that was because we wanted to have our radiator in a certain place, and again we had like sort of a Victorian towel rail radiator, so we wouldn't have been able to get in and out with a full door. So this worked perfectly as the door closes kind of like half the width of a normal door. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure how much footage I've got of it. Obviously if I have, I will have inserted it here for you to see. But yeah, they are all the things that I can think of right now. There's probably loads more, so if you like this kind of video, please do let me know. If you can think of any in your own homes as well, things that you would definitely change next time, or things that you think have been a brilliant addition to your house and that you would definitely do again, then please let me know in the comments. I find that kind of thing so helpful, and I'm sure everyone else will as well. I'm also going to do a mood board video soon. I know I haven't done one of those for a while, and loads of you have asked me to do one, so I thought the perfect time would be when we're designing our own house. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for lots more home content if you're not already, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye guys!